Alright, how is it going, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Monarch here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my updated Monarch deck profile. I took this deck to my locals on Saturday, and it did fairly well. I wish I would have done a little bit better. I ended up making top 8. I lost in our first round of top 8, which was kind of frustrating, but I did better than I expected, considering I've only been back at the game for about 3 weeks now. So I'm pretty happy with how it did. The last time I did a profile on this deck, I told you guys that I had a couple of things that I wanted to add to this deck. Well, I have them in now, so I decided I would go ahead and do an updated little profile on it. My very first round, I actually went against Cosmos and I bricked both hands and lost. I lost 0-2, which is really frustrating because the other guy was just, it's not like he had a better deck. Like a lot of the cards that he was running, it's just nobody runs. It was kind of like a rogue version, like I don't know how to describe it. He ended up winning, so that's what matters. Really frustrating. Just bricked both hands and it was really bad. But second round, I ended up playing a machine deck. It was really weird. I don't know what he was doing. He just played machines, and I ended up getting Majesties and Vanities, Fiends out first turn, and just had the backup for it. So I had like March, and then I had Scoldings and Warnings, and it was bad for him. So I ended up winning that game. Next game I played another Cosmo player who was a lot better. It went to game 3, and it was a very hard fought game 3. He ended up having a pretty good board that I ended up coming back and, you know, picking apart little by little, and I ended up coming all the way back and winning. It was a very good duel. Just a lot of thinking. I like matches and games where you gotta think a lot. And you gotta, what am I gonna do if I do this? What happens? You know what I mean? I love those types of games, and that's definitely what it was. So I ended up winning that. I think I ended up winning one more game. I think it was Cosmos again. I think I 2-0'd that one, and then I went to top 8, and I ended up losing to a pendulum deck. It was unreal. It just kind of like pendulum summoned 5 million monsters in one time, and then there was nothing I could really do. So it was kind of annoying, but it did fairly well. Like I said, I haven't been playing or back in this format for a while, so I was very happy with how well it did. So we'll go ahead and jump right into the actual profile. To start off, we play the 3 Ehther, obviously. This is a very good card that lets you get a lot of good combos on, pushing for a lot of damage, and it helps you disrupt things on your opponent's turn, which is very important. So when they try and do plays, if you have a monster on board, you can Stormforth and tribute your monster, and then, you know, it can really mess with them a lot, especially if you have a Kuraz and you can kind of pop things on their turn, and it, you know, they might plus on a card, but you still, if you pop the right card, you know, you'll disrupt their entire play. So Ehther's obviously a very good card. I run 3 Erebus. You obviously got to run, well, you don't have to, but I run the 3 Monarchs, 3 of each. This guy's really good. I really like him just because he gives you a very big control aspect to the game. Like late game, if somebody's top decking, you can put that one, you know, pick that card out of their hand. That's a very good thing. It just kind of lets you control their graveyard. So if they have a card they're depending on in their graveyard, you can spin that back into the deck. Same thing with the field. Erebus is very good. 1 Thestalos. I love Thestalos. I know a lot of people are talking about taking Thestalos out. A lot of people have been running Caius the Mega Monarch over him. I like Thestalos just because I like to know what my opponent is doing and what they're planning on doing. So sometimes you can look at your opponent's hand and say, okay, they got these cards, they're obviously trying to set this up. At the same time, late game, you know, like I said, when your hand's real small, you can pick that one card that they need out. So Thestalos really comes in clutch. The 1 Kuraz, most of the time he's going to come out on Ehther's effect. It's not as good to pull him out by himself. I mean, you can obviously, but I end up usually blowing him up and maybe one of my own cards to get some draw power off. He's a very good card. It's just I don't like letting my opponent draw. I just don't like doing that. 2 Majesty Fiend, one of the probably the MVP of the deck in my opinion. If you can get this card out first turn with the support, like, you know, a Scolding or a Warning or something around those lines, this card's probably going to win you the game. It's just that good of a card. If they don't have a response to this, you pretty much just win from there. Same thing with Vanity's Fiend. Maybe not as much with Vanity's Fiend because of the searchability of Majesty's Fiend, but Vanity's Fiend is still a very good card. Stop your opponent from special summoning. Obviously, decks rely a whole lot on special summoning, so to be able to take that out of the picture is very good. 3 Ideas. The little people that get out the big people. Edea is very good, obviously, by your effect, especially to recycle your Pantheisms. Just very good with that. The card just, it lets you get your plays off. You want to see this in your first hand. It sucks when you see multiples, but you always want to see this in your first hand, or your opening hand, however you want to say it. 3 Eidos, his brother in crime. A lot of people run this card at 2. I still like him at 3 just because of his grave effect, where you can banish him and special summon Edea. Just a very, very good card. And the fact that it can let you get that additional normal summon, especially since you're running the Majesties and Vanities, so you can just summon him, tribute, and then get a Majesties or Vanities out. The last profile I did, I was running 2 Veilers. I decided to take the Veilers out and throw in these Maxx instead, just because Veiler is a good card like in the mirror match, but against like Cosmos and most of the decks that are going on right now, like the Pendulums, Veiler doesn't do too much. It's obviously still a good card, but I feel like I'd rather just make sure my hands were a little bit more consistent, and that's what Maxx lets me do. Just having a little bit more draw power to get the cards that I need to get my combos and stuff set up. I'd rather have that over Veilering a monster for a turn. So Maxx replaces the Veilers. And that's it for the monsters. As far as spells, we run 3 Pantheism, the most broken card. I swear, you get draw power, and then you get the pluses from his other effect by banishing him and searching for 3, usually searching for one of these. Stormforth, crazy ridiculous card. The fact that he doesn't target and you can, it doesn't destroy, it just sends tributes to the graveyard. This card is just lets you get over a lot of mountains. A lot of times you'll think, oh man, I got my back against the wall. But Stormforth comes in clutch in those times where you can tribute a monster plus get Erebus' effect and then attack. You can take out 3 monsters if you're lucky like that. Tenacity, just because it's like running 4 of each of the important spells. Tenacity is just a very, very good card. It just increases the consistency of getting the spells that you really want. 2 Domain, I don't run 3, I like 2 just because I mainly use it, to be honest, for its effect to man, I'm stuttering Sally right now, but I mainly like the effect of being able to reduce the levels of the monsters in my hand so that I can 1-tribute my Monarchs. The XZ's effect is obviously going to lock down some decks, but not a lot of decks right now are actually going to the extra decks. So Domain is a good card, especially with the attack boost and all that stuff. It's just a good card. I play 1 Frost Blast. I'm not a fan of back row. So, Frost Blast, basically. I play the Twin Twisters in my side deck just in case people want to get crazy with back row. But usually game 1, I'm trying to lock them down. And so I just kind of keep this in here because it runs really well, obviously, with the Monarch spell and traps in the deck. 1 return, just so that I can make sure I get the monsters I need in my hand. Oh, and obviously it makes things miss timing, which is also very good. 1 March, just because a lot of times you get March, a Vanity Fiend with March, and it's like, what are you gonna do, buddy? It's just how sometimes it's just how it is. 1 ROTA, just because you definitely want to see your ideas. Your ideas get a lot of your plays started, so ROTA definitely helps you get to your ideas faster, which keeps your plays going and everything like that. 1 for 1. Very good card. It doesn't use your normal summons, so you get the specials, and then you can get Eidos' effect to just get Monarchs all over the field. Really good card. For the traps, we got Prime. I try and keep only 1 of these in my grave at a time. I notice a lot of people try and throw both of their Monarchs into the, or both of their Prime Monarchs into the grave at the same time. Don't do that. That's a very bad thing to do, because the actual effect of Prime, his draw power effect, excuse me, is really well because, or very well, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I'm a stuttering Sally today. It's very good because it lets you recycle your Stormforths late game and your Pantheisms to, make your hands a little bit better and to get that tribute backs. And also, obviously, it lets you draw, which is very good. And then when you play 1 Warning, very good. And then Scolding, which is just, I love Scolding. The fact that it just negates anything, you know what I mean? It's just, I love Scolding so much. So that's it for the main deck. I'm sorry that if I went a little bit fast or if I wasn't clear. If you have any questions on anything, make sure to leave a comment. Onto the side deck, we play 2 MST because, like I said, I don't like back row. Back row is just my least favorite thing ever. 2 Dark Holes, just for monster or decks that like to go crazy on the field, especially in the mirror match. If a lot of times you do tend to use a lot of resources to get monsters out, and to just watch them disappear with 1 card is kind of a bummer. 2 System Downs because Cosmos, I hate you. It's pretty much the way to put it. Cosmos just probably really are not the biggest fan of this card. System Down, you pay 1,000 life points, and then you banish all face-up machine type monsters from your opponent's side of the field and grave, I'm pretty sure. yeah, the monsters that they control and in the grave. So yeah, 2 Twin Twisters, because like I said, back row, hate them. Definitely hate back row. I'm not a fan of you. I'm sorry. I can't stand back row. 2 Flying Seas, just because at my locals a lot of people are still playing BA, and there's actually still quite a bit of people that are using, I mean not quite a bit, there's just some that use XZ, a lot of XZ monsters, so I ain't a fan of you. So Flying Sea helps with those. 2 Battle Faders, because what happened at YCS Prague means, just because of what took place in YCS Prague, you have to have Battle Fader in your side. It's just the way it works. And then 3 Veiler, just in case people are trying to get crazy with monster effects. So that's it as far as the deck goes. Like I said, it did fairly well, considering I haven't played in a while. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys liked the deck. If you guys have any suggestions of anything you would like to do to the deck, make sure to let me know so that I can take it into consideration. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and wherever you guys are at in the world. I do hope you have a good day or night, and peace, guys.